Welcome back everyone, welcome to another video. Today I want to talk you through my planner choice for 2018, our brand new year. For those of you who have been following along for the last couple of months, almost about 6 months actually, I had been playing with the idea of a bullet journal. I've been bullet journaling in a very simplistic minimalistic sense for the last few months. However, in this year, I've decided to go back to a traditional pre-planned and pre-dated journal slash planner. I'm going to quickly show you a flip through of the new planner, the layout in case you're interested in it, and then towards the end I'll tell you why I decided to switch over and back to a traditional planner. But first though, let's just have a quick look at the size comparison in case you are just curious and you want that out of the way. This is my old bullet journal, old being as of December. I finished it up. I still have pages, but I kind of finished the bullet journaling aspect. I'm still going to keep it for other purposes though. This is the Leuchtturm 1917 dot grid journal in a beautiful yellow cover. I really like this color. I think it's gorgeous. It's hardcover, quite sturdy, and has a leatherette finish on the cover. In contrast, this is my 2018 pre-dated planner. I purchased this at Walmart in the States. I have not seen this in the Walmarts here in Canada, so that's a little heads up. I picked this up while I was away. So this is the Day Designer in collaboration with Blue Sky. You might be very familiar with Blue Sky. They do a lot of affordable planner calendar options, and this is their special collaboration with Day Designer. If you are familiar with Day Designer, they are more of a niche or boutique line. You can find them, I believe, at Chapters and Indigo, or I suppose places like Barnes and Nobles and whatnot if you're down in the States. But they did a collaboration, and this is the one I decided to pick up for 2018. I'm going to drop you down to our bird's eye view and let's have a flip through of my new planner. Alright, welcome back to our desktop view. Here I'm going to flip through and show you the layout of my 2018 Day Designer in collaboration with Blue Sky Walmart available affordable planner that I am transitioning into for 2018. Here is again my Leuchtturm 1917, the bullet journal I had been using for the last couple of months. This will also come in handy. I will talk about this in just a moment. But let's go through these two real quick. Again, for size comparison, if I lay them on top of each other, the height is pretty much exactly the same. The width though is a little smaller on the Leuchtturm. You see that little extra bit over here. If I flip them this way, you can see that my new planner is a lot thicker than the Leuchtturm, but you do have to consider the Leuchtturm is a lot heavier and denser, and it was getting to be a hassle to carry around all the time. Even though it doesn't look like a big notebook and it's quite small and compact, it does get heavy, especially if you want to take it with you all the time, which was originally the point of a bullet journal. I will quickly show you an example of a layout, monthly and weekly, that I had preferred to use in my bullet journal, and then I'll show you this one, so then you can see why I went into this and why it's really working for me right now. Okay, let's go maybe to a monthly page so I can show you the layout and format that I eventually decided on and really enjoyed. Okay, let's do October. This was October 2017, and this is really the format that I stuck with and eventually found and really enjoyed. So on top here in the corner, I have the monthly calendar for the following month. So in this case, November. Any important dates or holidays I have circled in red. Sometimes I have a little quote up here just for fun. I have a section for my to-do list, and then the rest of this is very standard, just square boxes with the dates of the month highlighted in a neutral gray color. It has enough space for some small notes and things like that, but not a whole ton. This again is quite simple and what I've been using for a monthly layout in my bullet journal. If we flip to a weekly layout, this is again something I eventually decided upon and is my favorite layout. If I were to go back to a bullet journal at some point, which I still might, this is exactly what I would still stick to. I discovered my favorite layout and then I kind of just stuck with it, which is why eventually when I changed to this planner over here, it was a no-brainer because they had a very similar layout again. Up top, I have the monthly calendar. I have kind of a general space for weekly notes and things like that. I have a small section for shopping, something for blogging, and then the rest of my other page, as it is a 2-page for a week, was just for any specific appointments that I have. A small section for lunch, and then things to do and stuff like that. For each of the single days, I would only put down things that I had to do or I was looking to do for that particular day of the week. Anything else that was kind of a weekly to do would generally go over on this side. So quite simple, nothing fancy. Takes me about 5 minutes to set up every week, and it has worked out really, really well for me. So that was my bullet journal setup. Now let's take you over to my 2018 planner and you'll see exactly why I like this so much. If you open the little elastic over here, our first page is just a personal information section. Quite simple. A lot of other planners have this as well. Fill it in if you would like. You'll notice that this is actually a spiral bound planner, which is a little bit annoying because I don't like writing with this thing in the middle for the other side, but I can live with it and it's not a make it or break it deal. On the inside, you have a double-sided paper pocket, which I think is a really boutique element that I love. So originally I actually put the receipt from my planner in here so I can tell you how much this was. So I paid with tax included $10.73 American, which equates to be about maybe $13.50 or so Canadian. So definitely under $15 and quite affordable. On this side, we have a year at a glance, 2018 up top, 2019 on the bottom. The general color scheme of this planner is really kind of mint green as well as gold. The overall gold theme is a little bit much for me and not my personal favorite, but I can live with it and it doesn't really bother me all that much. The first couple of pages gives beginner kind of planning enthusiast a way to look at and set up their goals and kind of a recommendation. If you are quite familiar with planners and what you want out of it, this is not going to be all that useful for you, but it is here if you are just starting out. I am going to show you just a general layout. So for example, this was January 2018, and again, very similar layout to what I have. Month up top, days of the week on top as well. I like that each box is lined, so my writing isn't all over the place and it's easier for me to keep things neat. I do like the very faint lines on each inside each box, shall I say. On the side, you have a notes and to-do list, a lot smaller than what I would prefer, but it does work out okay. Very, very faint in mint green ink, you have the month for the previous month and the month for the following month. So in this case, December as well as February. These are a little bit hard to read. I'm not crazy about the fact that they use the mint green as the text color, as some of it is just really hard to read, especially when they're very, very small. You gotta have good eyes. Then all the things that have little flags on them, all the dates, are holidays, national holidays mostly, or days that you get off. But do note that this is an American planner, so all of their dates are mostly American celebrations and holidays. Okay, if I show you just an empty weekly layout, this is the main reason that I bought this planner, because it has just the perfect layout and very, very similar in function to my bullet journal up here. And I'll talk you through it kind of from maybe this side to this side. So you've got your days of the week from Monday all the way to Sunday going down this way. On each day, they've divided this into a left and a right section. I love this. On the right side, they've got a top priorities list with tick boxes. This is kind of like your daily to-do list. I put things down here that I really should get done for a particular day. Sometimes I'll also add in here my lunch meal plans for the week. You know, I'll just put it on the bottom as it only takes up 1 or 2 lines. On the left hand side, I will put down any specific appointments or dates or something that I have to do on that day that involves me leaving the house, or if I have a Skype call or whatever like that, it goes on the left hand side. Any other specific to-dos goes on the right hand side. I love this division right here. On this side, on the bottom here, they've got a section for general notes. I tend to put down my shopping in here, any big ticket items I've bought throughout the week, just to keep track of them, and with banking as well. Over here, you have a section called Just To-Dos with tick boxes. This is where I would put anything I need to get done or should look at just as a general list for the week, although not delegated to a particular day of the week. That goes in here. So as you can see, the layout and the function is actually very similar to what I had before in my bullet journal. So this actually works great for me. Now, this calendar, or planner, shall I say, runs from January of 2018 all the way to December of 2018, and all these tabs are laminated, which is great. At the very end, you have a couple of pages for notes, maybe about 10 pages or so, and at the very end, you have a list of holidays for 2018 all the way to 2021, but again, these are mostly American celebrations and observances. So that is this. So now you're thinking, well, what do you do with all of your collections and your lists and things like that? One of you guys actually suggested it was a great idea to keep a separate notebook for collections, especially since those are things you want to keep for long term and you don't necessarily want to be rewriting it from your bullet journal every single time you switch a planner or bullet journal. So brilliant. So, inspired by you, I decided to get a Moleskin notebook, and this is actually sectioned into, I believe, 7 different sections or chapters. These are quite inexpensive compared to other things that Moleskin sells. I found mine at a really good price, just about maybe $5 or so on sale. And what I've done is I've made section for different things. I've got one section for wish list items, things that, you know, will take a while to save up for and buy, and not something I can tick off right away. These are long-term wish list items. I've got a section for personal. I usually put things like what size I am for different brands. So when I go shopping for pants or shirts, I know exactly what sizing to buy. Then I have a section, oh, this one is blank. I have a section for blog things that I need to keep for long term, a section for home stuff and information, a section for general life things. So this is actually really helpful for me to keep as a separate small notebook, separate from my kind of everyday planner. So, this is a list, kind of a look at my various bits and bobs in the planning realm. Again, I'm still going to keep my Leuchtturm 1917 dotted journal, but probably for a different purpose. The bullet journal experience was really great and kind of allowed me to learn what I really enjoyed having and my preferred layout. But for this year, I think I'm going to stick to this one, a pre-dated planner. So if you have questions and comments, leave them down below. You know what to do. Otherwise, hope you had a great time watching this video, and I will talk to you real soon. Take care. Bye.